This week, we are focusing our energy on taking up all of the rotten flooring and knocking down our dining room fireplace, starting from the chimney on the roof, as well as ticking off some little jobs on our to-do list. So what I've done is sweeped all of this up, and then I've actually hammered all of the nails into the floor. So in terms of the other spaces, last week in the last video, if you watched that, then you know that all of the radiators in this bungalow have been taken out. Things like bits of skirting here, skirting there, all needs to come out now. Clips that held the old pipes also need to come out. And then we also need to strip this wall, that wall, that wall, and that wall, because that's going to be plastered. And then the rest, so this is the guest bedroom. The rest of these walls are going to be board and battened. I'm covered in soot already because James has got a fire on at the moment just to get rid of all of that wood. So what I'm gonna do now is start with the dining room because there was only a little bit of skirting to do, so. Quite a nice fit.
Maybe keep a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe we could like frame it.
Yeah.
It's really nice paper.
Yeah.
Bloody armour. Okay, let them work. So the plan now is to take up the flooring. The only thing is we are actually going to build 2 studios in the garden, which we want to use this wood for. I'm going to be extra delicate and gentle with this, and hopefully I can save as much of it as possible. Oh man, I don't know how to do this. Do you see there?
Yeah.
It's like coming off like splinters.
The way you're like pulling it away, they're all like just stuck together.
I don't know if we're going to be able to save it.
I wonder, it would never click back together though, but you could use, what's the circular saw that you run down all the lines, and then you would obviously break all the grooves.
And then
but
it's
then
unusable.
how do you stick it back down? Like you screw it in, or and then we'd have to like filler it all. We would lose a couple of boards, but we literally use that circular saw and we cut a line just only thick enough for the wood all the way along. We're only going to lose, well, we won't lose any floor actually, we'll just end up with some shorter bits. Lift the whole thing up, so then the whole floor should hopefully lift.
It will then
Hopefully
separate.
that should then separate. Yeah.
Jamie could literally just saw the entire footprint of this room, and that would make things so much easier. I think it'll be more characterful as well, like when we put it all back into like the 2 studios, because if they are like a little bit not quite matching up,
Yeah.
we can just put like resin over the top.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how expensive that would be.
Cool.
Cool. Was that a plan?
I think that works. Yeah, I think that's a plan. We just, because then we get a straight line still. Okay. That was easy. Alright.
Yeah, we're doing it in quickly. At this point, James's nan and dad had arrived to help us start taking down the chimney and eventually the dining room fireplace. The fact that we've now had the keys for over a month and we're already on to making structural changes is a massive accomplishment, especially for an interabled couple who are tackling their very first renovation project. Thankfully, we have such a great support team behind us to help us push all this progress as well. All the rubble being dropped down the chimney ended up going through 2 different holes, one of which went through the main bedroom ceiling as the fireplace was no longer there, which was not expected. It did, however, come in handy when the dining room fireplace ended up getting blocked shortly after this clip.
Great.
There's no space underneath.
Right, save it. No, your head's still up. Yeah, there we go.
What's going on?
It's nice.
Need some names. Oh,
It shouldn't
okay.
be. Look, my
Yeah,
foot's
yeah.
going through
Yeah,
that.
that's not bad, isn't it?
That's really bad. Look at that.
So maybe it wasn't all caused by the shower then?
No.
That bit out there.
Ready? Oh. Oh, got it? Look here, look.
So that was a bit of a day. So what we've been able to uncover is more rot underneath the floorboards here in the living room, which is not good. We've managed to save some of the flooring, so we're going to put that somewhere else just to salvage it for the studios that I keep mentioning. And then it does mean that next weekend when we come back, we actually need to take up this rotten flooring and perhaps the rest of the flooring in the hallway, just because we don't really know if it's dry rot. So now we're rethinking if the hallway flooring got affected by the shower or not. So we kind of need to get someone in just to like actually find out what the cause was. And then in here, we need to finish off taking up all of the coving. I've done this side, and then just need to finish all the way around, and then also do things like take up the skirting, because I didn't really get enough time today, all the chaos going on. Oh, and then we also need to take up all the coving in here. So this is actually one of the last rooms that we need to do, which is quite exciting. But yeah, thank you so much for watching today's video. It's probably quite a short one. Thank you for following along on this journey so far of renovations, and I shall see you next week. Take care, guys.